God damn it. Where's the Wizard of Oz when you
having
fucking
a good
need him?
stroke?
It's fine. I don't need my full face to get through this. Hey, I'm Blake.
And I'm Dave.
And this is First Prize Films, the podcast where we each select a genre-specific movie, separated by at least a decade, and pit them against each other to figure out which film wins the coveted title of First Prize. Dave, can you tell us what that means?
Of course, it means, it's very it means nothing. So today we're going down and taking everything with us as we discuss these post-apocalypse movies. I made Blake watch I Am Legend, a movie about a man who talks to mannequins because the people are trying to eat him.
And I made Dave watch 1996's Escape from LA, a movie that not only made me want an eye patch, but simultaneously made me want to poke my eyes out. These are two very different movies.
Oh, they're incredibly different. I Am Legend is actually one of my favorite movies of all time.
Really?
Oh, God, I love it. I'm a huge post-apocalypse buff, which I believe stems from when you and I were younger and we would go out and search abandoned buildings.
That was fun stuff.
That was incredible.
Good thing we were like underage because those were probably felony trespassing charges. I love this movie,
Yes.
I Am Legend, that is. And I also haven't seen Escape from LA in a long time.
Yeah, I've never seen Escape from LA. And I gotta be honest, the whole time I'm pretty sure my face never changed from the, what?
When we were talking about this episode, I was like, oh, we got to do this movie. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Right.
And I remember it being so much fun.
Yeah, it was something.
Well, I know how you feel because I had to watch F9 last episode. So
Yeah, I did put you through that.
That's where we're at today.
I'm actually really excited about this week's episode because last week put us through hell.
Last week, it took some recovery time for me. Mentally, literally, physically, I saw my doctor. I just know that if we don't get going into this, I'm going to leap out of my skin because there's some things about I Am Legend that I really personally want to get into.
I'm down.
So,
let's do it.
This is your movie, so let's get into movie one.
All right, let's go.
Movie 1, I Am Legend, 2007.
All right, Dave, here we go. Give us the synopsis for I Am Legend.
Let's do this.
In a post-apocalypse New York, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air has to fight for his life and the entirety of the human race, alongside his trusty pupper, against a bunch of people who have come down with a mild case of the zombies.
So we start with a news broadcast about the cure for cancer, and they've apparently re-engineered the measles virus at a genetic level.
How many people have you treated so far?
Well, we've had 10,009 clinical trials in humans so far.
And how many are cancer-free?
10,009.
But what's funny is they give an example about how the body's a highway, right?
Do you want to drive it all night long?
Anyway, it cuts to black, and then we get on-screen text that says 3 years later. And we see a deserted New York City with cars and buses littered everywhere, streets overgrown, and it's quiet. The quiet part being the only real difference, from what I can tell, between regular New York City.
I was a little nervous to see how the CG would hold up, but honestly, it feels pretty good.
So far, yeah. So
Yeah.
now we hear like a muscle car engine roaring out. Will Smith and his machine gun and his German Shepherd.
So cute.
Then suddenly a fucking deer jumps out of nowhere.
What you say?
So then they start chasing the deer. Actually, it's a herd of deer in their car, to which I say, like, just fucking hit one.
He's kind of giving us visual insight into like how to navigate this new world, but honestly, I figured by now we'd already be hunting in muscle cars with grenades.
As Robert gets the deer in his sights, a fucking lion jumps out of nowhere and grabs the deer. I'm sorry, what?
Things have gone crazy, Dave.
Yeah, fair point. So now Robert's wristwatch alarm is going off, and he notices that the sun's getting low. So it causes him and Sam, the dog, to walk off. And back at home, we see his face on a Time magazine cover, so clearly he's someone important.
Yeah, I mean, so far this has really been a show don't tell kind of movie.
Yeah. Anyway, Robert zones out to the sound of his fucking wristwatch alarm. I guess that makes sense. I did just recently sleep through 2 alarms. So,
I'm the master of sleeping through alarms.
Bro.
I set 5 of them every morning.
5?
I think I have a medical condition.
So anyway, Sam the dog's barking pulls Robert out of his trance, and now he starts closing these giant metal doors in front of all the windows and doors and whatever, creating this like impenetrable fortress. Can I have one of those like right now?
It's like the ultimate fort.
Yes,
but like
exactly.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate fort.
But also you could die if it fails. Can't be using your mom's sheets. It could be anybody's sheets. You know what I'm saying? Sheets in general are not the wisest choice for this.
Correct. Now, Robert and Sam the dog and his machine gun are cuddled into a bathtub with the sounds of like screams and shrieks that grow louder, and they send us into a flashback.
Robert, what is happening? I've been trying to reach you in the cell. I just keep getting a recording.
Daddy, where are we going?
So SUVs pull up, and Colonel Robert, as we find out, meets up with his wife and daughter, and clearly we're in a huge hurry here.
We're at 30 minutes, Colonel. Copy.
30 minutes to what?
They're sealing off the island.
What?
This hit different in a post-COVID world.
Fucking no,
Not
dude.
gonna lie.
So anyway, Robert is sending his family to Aunt Sarah's or whatever, but he's not going for another 2 weeks. And then his wife asks,
Jesus, Robert, did it jump? Is it airborne?
remember when they thought COVID might have been airborne? That's when I was like, I Am Legend is happening.
That's when I was like, well, finally.
Then we hear the President of the United States on the radio saying, whatever this thing is a threat to every nation. So Robert's daughter, Marley, who is actually played by Willow Smith, Will's real-life daughter, says, Daddy, look, a butterfly, which like kind of feels throwaway, but it's not. So I have
Well, she
to-
motions with her
Right,
hand.
she
That's
does
right.
a motion,
Okay.
yeah. So then we find out at this point that Robert is leading the charge to find a cure for whatever happened. He says,
I can still fix this.
but they're interrupted by someone's face smashing into the passenger window while they're driving at like 20 miles an hour.
To be fair, this could still just be New York.
Next thing you know, Robert's in his basement where he has a huge lab.
He's not only the sole immune survivor in New York City, but he's also a genius doctor who's worked on this virus. And he's also super buff. He can go out and he can beat the shit out of nature and use it to his advantage. Anybody else would be dead as fuck.
Exactly. So we find out that Robert's on attempt 391. That's over 100 a year at this point.
Dr. Robert Neville, September 5th, 2012, GA Series Serum, 391, Animal Trials.
I mean, he's really trying
He's going hard.
and really failing. So he's testing on these super violent and angry rats, except for we see that the last rat seems to be calm. Do we have hope?
I mean, like, I don't have that much hope. Or this movie's going to be really fucking boring. He solves it in the first 15 minutes.
And roll credits. So so then he says,
GA Series Serum, 391, Compound 6. Next candidate for human trials.
excuse me, what?
Does Robert have a freezer of humans or something? Is this, what kind of movie is this again? I don't know.
So now Robert and Sam the dog are back out, and we see Robert talking to mannequins that he's clearly like posted up over the years.
You guys doing here so early? Nice sweatshirt there, Fred. Don't sit it down anywhere.
Listen, Robert talking to mannequins reminds me of like when I didn't leave my apartment for a couple weeks and started talking to like all my appliances.
So Robert and Sam go inside a video store. Remember those? And he sees a lady mannequin, and I guess she's hot.
I would agree. Things are getting weird really quickly on this
Very quickly.
podcast, not only in the movie.
We're not even 20 minutes into the movie yet, and we're fucking already in the weeds. Anyway, so he debates approaching the lady mannequin to say something, but he chickens out, which is a sentence I can't believe I've just said. But to be honest, I feel a little seen because I can't tell how many times I've chickened out saying something to anybody.
I can relate as well, but specifically to the mannequin thing. I'm never getting a date.
So anyway, so now Robert is defending himself to Sam the dog about not talking to the hot mannequin. And he says,
What am I supposed to say? Hello. Want to see some infected rats? I'm gonna say hello tomorrow.
so now we see part of what seems to be Robert's daily routine as he like surges through abandoned apartments for supplies and whatnot.
This scenario, minus like the death of everybody,
Yeah.
will be pretty fun.
So as he's rummaging through the cabinets of this current apartment he's in, we see a taped up newspaper clipping that says, infected, dogs can come out at dusk, contagious disease, stay in the light.
I saw this setup and I was like, nope, I refuse to believe this or acknowledge it.
Now we hear Robert's voice on a broadcast.
My name is Robert
Robert Neville. I will be at the South Street Seaport every day at midday. If there's anybody out there, you are not alone.
And then we actually get to see him waiting at the spot, but no one comes because everyone's fucking dead. So now he's hitting golf balls?
And good for Robert, because he deserves a little leisure time.
Sam the dog sees something in the distance. Robert sees it too. Another deer. There's lions, remember?
We've established the lions.
Next thing you know, we see Sam and Robert literally chasing the deer on foot when the deer runs into a dark building. And Sam just blindly follows the deer into said building, and Robert freaks the fuck out.
Rightfully so.
So after a few seconds of whisper yelling for Sam at the entrance of the dark building, Robert finally says fuck it and turns on his rifle flashlight and goes in. So as Robert searches for Sam in this dark building, a screech rings out. And then Robert pauses and he whispers,
I gotta go, Sam. I gotta go.
This gave me the creeps, legitimately.
Yes.
The sound is very intense.
So instead of going, like he said, he does the opposite. He goes further into the dark building. This apparently is a scary movie where people make stupid decisions.
This is a genre movie, no doubt.
Anyway, next thing you know, he finds a trail of blood and some sort of animal snout just around the corner. But don't worry, it's just the deer. So he turns his light onto a horde of pale humans huddled in a circle, all of them breathing erratically. Fucking what?
This is like fucking the end of Hereditary.
Oh my God.
All the naked people in there.
So finally, Robert finds Sam the dog hiding under a desk, and he's like, but Sam is like, nope, I'm staying right the fuck here. Which makes Robert go, oh no. And he turns to see a human eating the body of said deer from before.
To be clear, is this a human?
It's humanoid thing, okay? It looks human, sort of.
It also looked like a glitched out N64 Mario, but okay.
We definitely see the age of these VFX. So anyway, the flashlight shooting onto this human-like monster causes it to lurch up, screaming like that weird screech thing.
Yeah.
And now Robert and Sam the dog are running for their lives. One of the humanoid things jumps on his back and they fly through a window on the second floor.
Falling out of a 2-story window, luckily landing on top of the monster.
Who is now screeching, slamming its own fucking face into the ground as its skin burns from the sunlight. We get it. You're Irish. Calm down.
Don't be Irish shaming on this show.
Oh, listen, I have some Irish friends. Yeah. So now Robert sets a trap using his own blood as bait. And while they're waiting, he tells Sam the dog,
I want you to stay here on this one, okay? Because you can still get infected, and I can't.
So almost immediately after that, something falls into the trap and shoots out of the dark building covered in a tarp. And Robert knocks it the fuck out with the butt of his rifle. And all of this causes another zombie. Vampire?
I just call them monsters.
So anyway, this causes another zombire to expose himself to the sunlight and screams at Robert before disappearing back into the dark. Ooh, this is awkward. Sorry. So now we see Robert working on the sedated zombire to test his cure. And it looks like it's working, except it wakes her up and then kills her, sort of. Because then he injects her with, I'm assuming, adrenaline and brings her back to life.
I don't know if adrenaline works on zompires. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it brings her back.
So Robert has like a mini freak out where he's like throwing shit around and breaking stuff. And I don't even sort of blame him.
Can't say I do either.
Still no cure. Vaccine trials continue. I'm still unable to transfer my immunity to infected hosts.
So now we get another flashback to Robert and his family, and they're continuing their evacuation when Robert's wife tests positive for the virus with this like retinal scan thing.
No good. No good.
What? No!
Whoa, get your hands off my wife. Get your hands off.
This was so intense.
It was. But then Robert swings a little bit of dick and gets her tested again, and this time, all clear.
I totally forgot what happened, so the whole time I'm like...
So then Robert puts his family in a helicopter, and he's like holding back tears. At this point, Robert's daughter hands him Sam the puppy, and I am losing my shit.
I think it could have been more of like a moment though, and then like later their bond would have felt a little more special.
Or you're cold and heartless. The thing is, then we get the daughter doing the daddy look a butterfly with that little hand symbol.
Terrible butterfly.
Yes, do it better, or
Be
don't
better.
do it at all. Oh, we suck.
Nothing like bullying children.
So smash cut to Robert waking up before his alarm. Robert looks at Sam and says,
It's my birthday. You know what I'm saying?
fucking oof. I mean, birthdays after 30 already suck. So imagine it being your birthday after the end of the world.
Yeah.
And your only friend is a dog.
But at least you have plenty of mannequins to celebrate with.
I had no words.
I have my one thing per episode, and I think I'm stuck on the mannequins.
You're stuck on mannequins. That's your thing this episode.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying.
Speaking of mannequins and this weird fetish you've developed, Robert and Sam are back in the SUV, and they see something, and then they pull to a stop. We see Fred the mannequin, and thanks to TikTok, I actually knew to watch for it. Fred the mannequin's head fucking turns.
Oh, what?
Yes.
I did not notice
Bro,
that at all.
Literally, I
Holy
want to
shit.
pause this record so we can look it up and you can watch it.
Dude, I gotta see this.
A few moments later.
Yo!
Isn't that fucking intense?
I did not notice that. That was really subtle. Score one for TikTok, man.
So now Robert whips the SUV around and speeds toward Fred the mannequin and starts screaming at it.
The hell are you doing out here, Fred? How did you get out here? If you're real, you better tell me right now.
And when Fred doesn't answer, because he's a mannequin, Robert just riddles Fred the mannequin with bullets.
Listen, this scene is like me when I've done too many mushrooms and look in the mirror.
If you're real, you better tell me.
You better tell me. It's don't do mushrooms with me.
Then he walks towards Fred the mannequin, who he just annihilated, and steps into the same type of trap that he used on his zompire in his basement.
They are not only smart, but apparently smarter than him.
Yeah, right. Apparently they're
got
smarter
him.
than the scientist.
Yeah, they used a Scooby-Doo trap, and they got him.
Anyway, so he hits his head on the concrete as it grabs his leg and pulls him up, and he loses consciousness as he hangs in the air, which causes Sam the dog to bark desperately.
I would too if I was a dog.
So flash forward to Robert's watch alarm waking him up, and the sun is going down. Oh, fuck.
Wait, is it just one of the zompires who's smart, or are they all tricky?
Can you just watch the fucking movie, please? Robert, finally, he's able to cut himself free with his pocket knife, but then he lands on his fucking knife because it goes straight into his leg. And my whole butthole just puckers. I mean, just landing like that.
Yeah, that's enough to hurt on its own,
Right.
let alone without a knife impaling you.
Dude, totally. So now Robert starts crawling back to his car, and suddenly we see the angry, apparently smart zompire appear with 3 zom dogs.
You mean Mario's glitchy-ass pets?
Oh, God. So the angry zompire lets the zom dogs loose, and they sprint towards our heroes. And the only thing that holds them back is a small strip of sunlight on the ground.
We can feel that. We can see it, like the beam of light.
It's getting
smaller
yeah.
and smaller. And we know as soon as that beam of light is gone, those dogs are coming for him.
Exactly. So finally, Robert gets to his car right as the strip of sunlight disappears. Mm-hmm. And the 3 zom dogs start racing after him. As Robert is struggling not to get mauled, Sam the dog to the fucking rescue. After Sam saves Robert, she gets attacked by the dog she just saved him from. And then Robert turns and shoots the zom dog, killing it. Fuck yes.
I felt really good about that.
But now, oh God.
Oh no.
Sam the dog limps and whines before laying down.
Samantha, look at me, girl. Hey, you okay?
Fuck movies that do this.
I know, right? So Robert picks her up, and looking at her, he sees all the bloody bite marks. Now we're back in the lab, and Robert desperately is getting some of his vials, and he injects Sam with one of them. He picks her up, and he holds her as he notices the telltale signs of the dog turning. And now, the worst part of the movie. And I can't hold it together as Robert sings to Sam.
Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright.
Oh, God damn it.
Hopefully our emotions are making you laugh because we have no jokes here.
Dude, the only somewhat comical thing I have to say about this isn't the actual movie. When I first saw this movie, I saw it in theaters, and I saw it with a few friends.
Right.
And one of my friends' girlfriend, she saw this dog die, as we all saw. She sobbed and shrieked.
Fuck.
Literally, she cried so hard that once the movie finished, people came up to her after and asked if she was okay. It was wild. So
That's a bit too much.
that's not for you to say. That's
Yeah.
for everybody else in the theater to say.
By sheer coincidence.
Dude, no, I think I was there.
Dude, in Westchester? Dude, what? Yeah, that's exactly who that is. Are you fucking kidding me? Did we see this movie together?
We totally fucking
Holy
saw this
shit.
together, dude.
Oh my god.
Forget that.
Our history runs so deep, I'm forgetting it.
Jesus Christ. Now that we've had that laugh, back to the depression.
Oh yeah.
Because now we see him burying Sam. If you don't mind, I'm just going to go walk into traffic real fast. But now Robert's in the video store and he's approaching the hot mannequin. I can't believe I have to keep saying that. I think this made me more emotional than the actual dog dying.
I think it's so sad.
Because of the promise he made to his dog.
Yeah.
And he had to go keep it.
Oh, dude, I know.
So he says,
Promise my friend I would say hello to you today. Hello. Please say hello to me.
Robert is completely broken and losing his shit. And fucking same.
Dude, right?
So now it's dark at the meetup spot as Robert sits at a desk. And a horde of zompires approach slowly. And then they start running at him. When suddenly, bam, his floodlight comes on his car. And he's actually in his car. And he just fucking runs a bunch of them over. To which I say, fuck yeah, get your revenge. The zompires make him crash the car and they start attacking it, flipping it on its side. So then the angry zompire is back and he's directing this horde to attack Robert, who is now hanging by a seatbelt, which answers your question.
Yeah, now that I've actually shut my mouth and watched the movie.
Yeah, so now we find out it's one smart zompire and the rest are dumb as shit. Then the angry zompire reaches into Robert's car to grab him and then boom. These UV lights illuminate everything, and the entire horde just flees. And then a woman reaches into the car and cuts him free.
The Deus Ex Machina of it all. I
Right.
swear to God.
So, cut to Robert's POV, and the woman is driving, asking him... And Robert mutters his address and says, "They don't know where I live. Don't let them track us. Stay out till dawn." And now we're flashing back to when his family's being evacuated again. So the helicopter they're in is preparing for takeoff. Military jets at the same time are blowing up bridges all around to try and cap the spread. So as they're finally starting to take off and they're in the air, desperate people break through the barriers and they're jumping on it as it tries to take off, sending it into a tailspin directly into Will Smith's family's helicopter. God damn it. Haven't you heard us enough, sir? First the dog, now his family?
I couldn't remember how his family died, but
oh, God.
Seeing them having to die this way was worse. I
in
think.
front of his fucking eyes, dude.
I get half the work, I get half the booty. Now hand me that big old rock, the one that looks like your head.
Smash cut to Robert waking up to the sound of Shrek.
Can we take a second and just thank God that Shrek still exists in this movie's universe?
I just feel like waking up to Shrek would be terrifying. Robert walks into the kitchen to meet our newest characters. Anna, the woman who saved him, and a young boy named Ethan. And they've made this whole spread of breakfast, like eggs, bacon, all of it. And the whole thing is very confusing to Robert, but also he's pretty upset.
I'd be upset too, dude, if somebody came in and cooked my fucking bacon.
Never mess with a man's bacon. So she tells him that they're going to Vermont, to the survivors colony. And Robert freaks out, saying that everyone is dead. Anna tells him that there's actually a colony of people up in the mountains who didn't get sick because...
the virus couldn't survive the cold. There's hope.
Everybody's dead.
This brings me to a question, though. Why was Anna willing to risk her and Ethan's life without knowing if he was the actual Robert Neville? Like, she just strolls her ass into Manhattan looking for him like it's the Craigslist personal section in circa 2002.
You're not wrong, but the thing is, they have to pass through New York to get to where they're going.
How did Anna and Ethan actually get onto Manhattan Island if all the bridges were blown up? Like, did they take the zombie ferry? What's happening?
Listen, you're asking a lot of questions, So then she tells him, if we leave tomorrow, we can make it to Vermont in a straight shot, which Robert says,
I'm not leaving. This is ground zero. This is my site. I'm not going to let this happen.
And at that point, it does kind of feel like he's in denial.
Which step is denial?
It's grief, not addiction, dumbass.
But he's addicted to vampires, dude.
Oh my God. Oh.
Sorry, recovering people.
So anyway, cut to the sedated zompire in his lab, and he's got her surrounded by ice. And Anna comes down and she asks,
You think that can cure her?
No, this will almost certainly kill it, but it's possible by drastically reducing the body temperature, I can increase the compound's effectiveness.
you know, he's kind of proven her point here, that the virus can't survive cold temperatures.
Me either.
Now Anna sees a wall of Polaroids of his past subjects, and she asks, did all of them die? And he says, yes. And she's like, my God. And Robert says, God didn't do this, Anna. We did.
That's a Jeff Goldblum, Dr. Malcolm moment from
right,
Jurassic Park.
Right, yeah. But that actually brings back the poster from the beginning scene in this movie, saying God still loves us.
Oh, yeah, I didn't make that connection. Good catch.
So now Robert picks up Ethan to put him to bed in his daughter's room. And we get some dialogue about his daughter and how her name was Marley, named after Bob Marley. And Anna doesn't know who that is, but knows Damian Marley.
Get the entire fuck out of here.
That's exactly what I said.
That is unacceptable.
So Robert has now closed up the steel doors, and Anna tries to convince him to come to the colony, and they argue about its even existence. And she says she knows it exists because God told me he has a plan. All right. Nope.
We already established God hates us.
Yes,
Sorry.
exactly.
No going back on that.
And now Robert schools her on her God's plan.
Every single person that you or I has ever known is dead!
Robert hears noises outside, and he asks, was it still dark when you brought me home? And she says, you were bleeding. There was light on the horizon. So, which is a long-winded way of saying, yep, you dumbass.
They followed us home.
Yeah, no shit. And a fucking army of zompires are sprinting toward the house.
All of Mario's 16-bit friends are here, and they're pissed.
Did he bring Donkey Kong with him? So Anna runs up the stairs to get Ethan as Robert flips on these like UV floodlights surrounding the house, which does nothing because the zompires just destroy the lights.
Quickly.
Very quickly. So then Robert flips another switch and blows like 100 car bombs. So then Robert, again, looks outside and he sees dead zompires everywhere, and he calls out for Anna as he goes up the stairs. He steps into a bedroom and sees one of the steel doors bent inwards, blood dripping off of flesh from something. Probably my will to live at this point. And then... a zompire jumps at Robert, sending him flying into a wall, and it bites him on the neck and starts swinging his body like a fucking ragdoll.
I guess when you get the virus, you get buff as shit, but retain your lean structure. Mm-hmm. I want to get this virus.
Aside from the whole, not being able to go out in the daylight thing.
I'm already doing that, so go on.
Fair point. Aside from the whole having to eat other people thing, and
I think I can adapt.
You lose me at Horde Circle. I'm sorry. I can't do any of that.
I need to get more social anyway.
So the angry zompire screams out as Robert grabs a hidden machine gun from an umbrella holding thing and starts firing at him, missing every time, just like last week in the Stormtroopers.
It's like spraying bullets.
He's just missing.
I mean, come on.
Bro, you're in the military, right?
And you're Will Smith.
Come on.
What can't you do?
Listen here, Fresh Prince. Be better. So
Be fresher.
So the angry zompire hides in the kitchen, and Robert shoots a propane tank, blowing it the fuck up. So then it just jumps up the stairs, and Robert takes chase. Robert sees that Anna and Ethan are hiding under a piece of furniture and motions for them to stay quiet.
Hopefully they would just know that immediately, but whatever.
Mansplain how to not die. So then Robert sees a gun on the nightstand, and before he can make a move, Ethan squeaks because fucking kids, dude.
It's like you can't even bring kids to the post-apocalypse anymore.
So Ethan's squeak gets Destructo Zompire's attention. So Robert lunges in and grabs the gun, firing at the zombie multiple times, killing it. So then Robert, Anna, and Ethan hear the angry Zompire roaring in the distance.
Again, another Jurassic Park kind of reference.
Everything revolves around Jurassic Park.
It all comes back.
Then we see another army of fucking Zompires sprinting at the house. There's a lot.
In fact, an entire Manhattan's worth.
I did not think of it that way.
Downstairs, go! Get to the lab!
As a horde of the Zompires scales the house to get into the hole in the ceiling, Robert locks himself, Anna, and Ethan in the lab of the basement. And he tells Anna and Ethan to get behind these glass doors.
Hopefully they hold up.
Back in the lab, Robert sees that the sedated Zompire now looks pretty human again. He fucking did it.
And great timing, might I add.
Perfect timing. Right when it's too late, you know?
Neville, it's working.
The doors to the lab burst open as the Zompires come crashing through it. So Robert then closes the glass doors as everyone sprints towards him and Ethan and Anna. These Zompires run headfirst into them, trying to break the glass doors, and it's not working. I mean, they're cracking, but it's not breaking. So,
and despite the bad CG, it still is a pretty intense scene.
Right,
like you can feel that, claustrophobia.
Mm-hmm. So Robert tries telling them to
Stop! Look, you are sick!
So they keep attacking the glass when the angry Zompire finally appears. He smashes through other fucking Zompires, and then he runs headfirst into the glass, cracking it with his dumbass gorilla strength for no reason. Robert is like, trying to stop him, like, I can help you, I can save you.
He's trying to reason with a creature that is deeply unreasonable.
Right, exactly. So then the pattern of the broken glass forms the wings of a butterfly, and we hear his daughter's voice.
And not to keep shitting on children, but the zombie's butterfly was a little better than the daughter's.
Be better.
Just be better.
Child. So Robert looks to Anna, who is now cowering in the corner holding Ethan, and on her neck is a butterfly tattoo.
Do you get it? Do you get it?
It's in this moment now that Robert knows what he has to do. So he grabs a vial and extracts blood from the cured Zompire, hands it to Anna and says the cure is in her blood, and puts them into a coal chute.
My actual question for this is, why did you just take one vial of blood? Hopefully it's fine.
Hopefully you don't fucking drop it.
Yeah, no backups here? Whatever.
So he puts them into the coal chute, and he puts the vial in her hand. He says, I think that's why you're here.
What are you doing?
I'm listening.
Neville, there's room in here. Come.
I'm not gonna stop. Stay until dawn.
And he turns and he grabs a picture of his family and a fucking grenade.
He has a medical grade grenade.
Medical grade grenade.
You never know when one's going to come in handy in medical applications.
Right. So he pulls the pin as the glass starts to break open, and he runs at the angry Zompire, colliding with him as the grenade explodes and somehow blows up the whole basement.
But not the coal chute.
So now we see Anna and Ethan in a car, driving amongst trees that are changing colors.
Also how they get out of Manhattan, but go on.
So now they stop the car and they get out, approaching a huge metal gate attached to these gigantic walls.
Definitely not sketchy.
No, but the gate then opens to reveal the survivors colony. It is real. The Fresh Prince was wrong. But now we get Anna's voiceover.
Dr. Robert Neville dedicated his life to the discovery of a cure and the restoration of humanity. He discovered that cure. He gave his life to defend it. We are his legacy. This is his legend.
Roll credits.
Finally.
Man, this fucking movie, dude. I mean, it's awesome because of all the abandoned shit and all the post-apocalypse and the zombies and all the killing of the zombies and shit.
There's so much sad stuff in this movie, and I totally forgot. And it's just such a fucking bummer. It's a fun movie. There's good stuff in it, and it's really exciting and action packed. But man, what an oncoming existential crisis that was.
I know, dude, and it's fucked up because I've seen this movie so many times, and still, even just talking about it, I get fucking.
I know, and I'm gonna have to listen through all these fucking clips after this too. Oh, thanks, Dave.
Have fun, Future Blake.
Whatever, it's fine. We're moving on to lighter fare here, Dave. We're moving on to an adventure known as Escape from LA.
Oh, yup.
Are you ready for this? I don't care.
Sure.
We're doing it.
Movie S01E02, Escape from LA, 1996.
Let me hear the synopsis for Escape from LA.
Buddy.
In the dystopian future of 2013, our mumbling eye-patched hero Snake Plissken is forced, against his will, onto the sinful wasteland of Los Angeles Island to recover a bomb. Wait, a precious document. No, it's just a remote control. Anyway, he fights against Mad Max rejects, disfigured surgery patients, and Steve Buscemi against a backdrop of poorly composited matte shots.
Oh, God. That was hyper accurate.
For a little context, this is a John Carpenter film, and the sequel to 1981's classic Escape from New York.
Right.
Now, you might be asking me, Blake, why the fuck did you pick the generally maligned sequel over the original? And to be completely honest, I remember having so much fun watching this movie. I love the original, and I thought it would be fun to discuss, as well as kind of put you through it.
Oh, great. So this is revenge.
It's not specifically revenge, but yeah, it's revenge.
Can't say I didn't deserve it.
But we're open to the credits and music composed by John Carpenter himself. He writes a lot of the music.
Yeah, it actually feels like it's more suited for like an alt grocery store.
No, for sure. When the film starts in earnest, we're given like a metric shit ton of exposition. So can we just like knock this out really quick?
He's going to knock us out. But yeah, let's do it.
So in 1998, Los Angeles is a crime-ridden, debaucherous hellscape, not unlike modern-day LA, which is then taken over and patrolled by the newly created United States Police Force under the rule of the U.S.'s new theocratic president for life, President Adam. Are you still with me? Good, because there's even more. So then, in 2000, a massive 9.6 magnitude earthquake decimates LA, flooding the valley and turning Los Angeles into an island. And this is where we see our first glimpse of the deeply subpar CG work.
Holy CGI Batman.
Even for its time, this is really bad. Apparently, the company hired to do this had never done computer graphics before, which, again...
Yep, that tracks.
Yeah, it seems obvious, even at this point, like 4 minutes into the movie.
Armageddon will descend upon the city of Los Angeles, the city of sin, the city of Gomorrah, the city of Sodom.
People who don't conform to the new moral America standards are sent to fend for themselves on LA Island and cut off from society. It's a guarded island prison for the morally bankrupt.
Los Angeles Island is declared no longer part of the United States and becomes the deportation point for all people found undesirable or unfit to live in the new moral America.
We cut to 2013, the distant future, where all landscapes are now low-budget matte paintings.
I literally cackled like a hyena at that point.
This is a big budget film, but it looks like a B movie. And I think the general idea is that it's supposed to be a B movie. John Carpenter's kind of known for that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're on the deportation center on the coast. An armored truck arrives with our infamous outlaw of few words.
Oh, God.
Snake Plissken.
Dude, I giggled. The eye patch dude?
He is a B movie character. This film, we know pretty quickly, isn't supposed to be taken very seriously. It's supposed to be a fun adventure.
Sure.
Hello, Plissken. Welcome to LA.
Snake Plissken was convicted of 27 moral crimes and arrested 2 weeks ago. And he's been brought to the outskirts of LA by President Adam for a new mission. They don't like him, but he's their only option at this point.
Isn't that funny how that works? How convenient is that?
I mean, he's an established badass, Dave, so...
Like, this one guy...
Who sucks.
Can accomplish what the entire United States military can't?
He's their one-man suicide squad.
You had it all, and you turned away from your country. What do you have to say, Plissken?
Call me Snake.
I literally facepalmed. What in the cheesy-ass hell is going on?
That's the point. It's supposed to be goofy and cheesy. That's his character.
How convenient that your character sucks and you have an excuse for it.
Because I understand the movie, Dave.
You need me for something. What is it?
Show him.
Snake is finally briefed on his mission via the soldiers with the aid of future tech.
Why is everyone buddy-buddy with Snake?
He's a famous outlaw.
I guess that's fair.
So here's the problem that Snake has been brought in to solve. The president's naive and sheltered daughter, Utopia, who's dressed like a 90s Sears catalog, threw up.
You've been reading a lot of 90s Sears catalogs there, Blake?
Don't you fucking hobby shame me. Utopia is taking control of this nebulous prototype. She hijacks Air Force 3 and then sends a message to her father.
To the president, my father, you know what's in here. And unless you open your borders, allow all the wrongfully accused to return to their country, I will use this.
I assume it's a weapon at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got out of that.
According to the soldier, she used an escape pod from the plane from Air Force 3, which landed somewhere on LA Island, but the signal has been lost.
We sent in a 5-man rescue team. Within a few hours of landing on the island, all but one of them was killed.
Hell of a team.
So they need Snake to go in, find her, kill her, and get the black box back.
President wants to kill his own daughter.
It's 2013, Dave. Things have changed. So that's the setup. Like, right, Dave? Is that it? We got all the information we need, right?
Yes.
No, it's not all the information.
No.
There's more, dude.
Oh.
There's more exposition.
Right after her sister committed suicide, Utopia began to withdraw from life into her virtual reality simulator.
They suspect Utopia is on the island with a discount Che Guevara. This man is known as Cuervo Jones. It sounds like a lovely drink on the beach, but he's a ruthless.
Go for Cuervo Jones.
I could go for Cuervo Jones myself right about now.
Cuervo Jones, Peruvian terrorist, member of the Shining Path, runs the Mescalito Justice, biggest, baddest gang in L.A.
Cuervo is a ruthless terrorist who met Utopia through VR, and the government believes he's the one who convinced her to steal the black box for him.
Right, that's sure.
It's how it works. So, in exchange for getting the black box back from Cuervo and Utopia, Snake is promised
You will receive a full pardon for every immoral act you have ever committed in the United States.
Sounds familiar.
There's a lot to digest in this movie.
Fair point.
Like, I recommend you watch this movie.
Yeah, I do
bonkers.
too. Because if I'm going down,
everybody's got to go down with you.
Going down.
So Snake obviously doesn't want to help the government, but we find out he's been injected against his will with the Plutoxin 7 virus, which will kill him in 10 hours. So motivation?
Motivation, extortion, tomato.
The Plutoxin 7 virus.
Genetically engineered, complete nervous system shut down.
We have our ticking clock element. So
Right, yeah.
hopefully that ticking clock will start so we can start getting to the actual fucking plot of this movie.
Hopefully we ever get to it.
We're close, man, because we find out that he will get the antidote once the mission is complete. So his hand has been forced. He's been given 10 hours to recover this box.
Nice to be working with you, hotshot.
You better hope I don't make it back.
They're going to help him a little bit. They have to give him some weapons. It's a small arsenal of future tech weapons, notably a personal holographic computer projector that works only once for some reason.
It's like a fucking disposable camera.
But remember that. He also gets a thermal camouflage overcoat, an assault rifle, and a virus countdown clock that starts ticking.
God, imagine having a fucking countdown to your death clock.
Sometimes I wish not to be dark.
Okay, let's get to the good stuff.
Okay, almost, because finally we get one last piece of giant exposition dump before Snake takes off to the island. Apparently, LA is being primed as a target point for an invasion of the US by Cuervo Jones's vast gang network known as the Shining Path. So the black box that Snake is retrieving will also help keep the US safe from this supposed attack, because the box is the key to the weapons system.
Sure.
I guess they only made one.
No backups.
Launch.
To get to LA, Snake hops in a submersible and has to avoid obstructions like buildings, bad CG sharks, and Universal Studios.
Oh my god.
The submersible leaps out of the ocean onto a cracked concrete structure that breaks away and sends said submersible tumbling back into the ocean. That was his one way back to the mainland, and it's gone. Roll credits. He's met here by some hostile surfers, but these surfers threaten him to stay off their beach, including the stereotypical surfer dude known as Pipeline, played by Peter Fonda. But Pipeline, the surfer, recognizes Snake, and we'll come to see that a lot of people that he meets throughout his journey on LA Island, they know of him. They've heard of him. It establishes his lore and his legendary status. Shut up. That's not open for interpretation. It does. It happens.
What do you want?
Nothing, dude. I just realized who you are, that's all. You know, I used to see you a lot when I surfed the birds. See you on the police channel?
Pipeline points Snake towards Hollywood because Snake is going to see if there's a member from the initial recovery team still alive. Spoiler alert.
He is deader than fuck.
But side note, and this is regarding music, the movie has like this wild alt-rock, like new metal industrial soundtrack.
Yeah, I did kind of gather that much.
It has bands like Tool and Deftones and Rob Zombie's band White Zombie, Ministry, Toadies, Butthole Surfers, and the chef's kiss of all of this is early new metal era Sugar Ray.
What? I'm a little scared.
A few moments later.
No.
This is Sugar Ray.
You're lying.
I'm not fucking lying. Look at this.
I'm sorry, what?
This is fucking Sugar Ray, dude.
Excuse me? The band with the song about the halo?
That doesn't have anything to do with anything, but I just thought I'd take a second to blow your fucking mind.
I need a second.
6.5 hours later.
So now that we have that out of the way, Snake finds himself in a brothel, as one does, passing sex workers who look like they looted a Halloween Express costume store. Included are such classic looks like sexy construction worker with hard hat attachment, bejeweled medieval troubadour, leather-bound punk rocker, and like something vaguely Egyptian.
Something vaguely Egyptian. I'm like, are these all sex workers?
They're like the village people of sex workers.
Oh. Where can I find Cuervo Jones?
What do I look like, a fucking tour guide?
They're inside of a theater, and Snake does find that remaining soldier from the recovery team. He's dead, and a group of guys are using his bloody corpse for knife throwing practice.
Yeah, of course, as one does.
In the post-apocalypse.
Yeah.
He decides, obviously, fuck that guy, he's dead, so he needs to hunt down Cuervo Jones himself, who is apparently on Sunset Boulevard.
Look in my face when I talk to you, shitheel.
So Snake finally gets to Sunset Boulevard, and we find Cuervo Jones, like, immediately. He's preaching revolution to everybody on the streets.
Of course he is.
From the back of his old school car.
Meet me in the Happy Kingdom next party tonight, because tomorrow we're going to start our way back to glory.
Snake, of course, steals a motorcycle and takes off after him.
Because why wouldn't he?
It's fun. We get our post-apocalypse Mad Max leftovers, otherwise known as the Bad Max rejects. He's popping wheelies.
Oh, God.
Snake is dodging bullets, and he's murdering bad guys. Snake jumps his motorcycle onto the back of a pickup truck close to Cuervo, but Cuervo knocks him off the truck, and he's confronted by some other gang members. It's an old Western showdown.
And, like, who would agree to this?
I'm gonna give you assholes a chance. What do you say we play a little Bangkok rules?
Meaning Snake grabs a can and everybody backs up.
Nobody draws until this hits the ground. You ready?
He tosses the can, and as everybody looks up, he just fires and kills everybody anyway.
My fucking favorite part about that is afterwards he goes, draw.
So Snake takes off, and he finds himself in the company of a local huckster known as Map to the Stars Eddie, played by Steve Buscemi.
Well, I've been hanging out around here for more years than I want to think about, but I never thought I'd see Snake Plissken cruising Sunset Boulevard.
Snake just wants to know where Cuervo Jones's place is. Eddie points him west through Beverly Hills, and he offers Snake this like little remote that plays a little audio guide.
Welcome to your very own Map to the Stars.
He's not having any of Eddie's bullshit, and he just takes off. Once he gets to Beverly Hills, he's captured with a net by Star Wars sand people. He's taken into custody into the Beverly Hills Hotel, along with a woman named Taslima.
I told you to stay down. Now look what you've done. Are you Snake Plissken?
So this hotel is staffed with grotesque-faced employees.
Yeah, did the wax museum come to life? Or...
The Melted Wax Museum.
Yeah, that's the Melted Wax Museum come to life. That's what... Oh, fuck.
So Taslima explains to Snake.
Surgical failures. Too many implants and facelifts over the years. The only way they survive is to have fresh body parts transplanted over and over again.
Everybody's just a Frankenstein's monster.
I think the costume and makeup design is really fun. They're grotesque and weird.
Yeah,
and
that part, yeah.
But whatever. Enter Bruce Campbell. the Chin himself.
Oh.
He's in prosthetics, and he's playing the Surgeon General of Beverly Hills.
I was wondering, when I saw his name, I was like, wait.
He's perfect for this film, but he's criminally underused.
I can't work with garbage like this.
As the Surgeon General, he's looking over Taslima and Snake to see what body parts they have that are good that he can use for his patients.
Yeah, that's not at all weird and creepy.
But Snake escapes because he uses a blow dart from his wacky future weapons pack. And he's able to take the Surgeon General, Bruce Campbell himself, hostage.
Anybody moves, I'll blow his brains out and then yours.
He escapes, and he brings Taslima with him to help him get to Cuervo Jones. And as his time continues to run out, on his watch, the Plutoxin 7 virus rages inside him. He can start to feel the effects.
Also, I had no idea that sewers were actually just giant underground bunkers.
In the post-apocalypse, anything is an underground bunker, as long as it is, in fact, underground.
Cuervo Jones's place is down that way. Get off at the Vermont exit. Go south. Can't miss it.
So they travel on foot down the 10 freeway through Koreatown. Taslima tells Snake she doesn't mind the hellscape that is LA because
this is the only free zone left. Once you figure out this place, it's really not so bad.
And with that, she's immediately shot and killed.
Yeah.
I was ready for her to help Snake for the rest of the film.
And she just dies.
So fuck her. That's over with. We never talk about it again because a firefight breaks out on the highway.
Just have drama for drama's sake.
Snake dodges literally every single bullet and escapes, and as if sent by Satan himself, he runs into our old friend, Map to the Stars Eddie, rolling down the street in his pristine red car.
Rolling down the street, smoking Plutoxin, and somehow not shitty car.
Oh
Sorry.
My God.
Anyway. Sorry.
I hate this.
Hate
End
me.
it. Well, listen, I have a shitty car here in Los Angeles, and I can't drive for more than 2.5 miles before I get my car keyed while moving, or I hit a pedestrian and they fuck up my bumper. Sure. So anyway, Map to the Stars Eddie, he's going to take Snake to Cuervo Jones. Before they get too far, the glove box opens and Snake is shot by 2 darts in the chest.
Hey, not to worry, Snake. You've just been shot with the fun gun. Feel it?
Snake blacks out, but luckily, well, maybe unluckily for you, we don't roll the credits, but he wakes up from this, and he's somewhere. He's bound, but in the presence of Eddie, the president's daughter, Utopia, and some guy named Test Tube.
Test Tube? Is that how he was conceived?
It is the future, Dave. So you never know. Anyway, Test Tube explains what's in the black box that Snake's been after. Do you remember the black box?
Oh God,
do you remember that?
Vaguely.
Well, we find out what it actually is. It's a remote, and it looks similar to Eddie's audio map remote. It controls it's like a system of EMP emitting satellites.
And EMP stands for electromagnetic pulse.
Maybe you could kind of help explain because I'm stupid.
So basically, an electromagnetic pulse is a type of technology that knocks out other types of technology. It kind of fries their circuitry.
You can pinpoint precisely what you want to shut down. A taxi cab in Buenos Aires, the entire country of Spain. Hell, you could key in all the satellites and shut down the whole planet. Send it right back to the Dark Ages.
Yep. That's how that works.
This movie tells me it does, so I believe it. This kind of reminds me of the super weapon Project Ares from F9.
Oh God, it does.
It's different, but it's still like a satellite system that can pinpoint things with crazy accuracy and control them. It's all connected and nothing is coincidence.
Yeah, so basically you're saying that you're resigned to the fact that this is the losing movie.
I'm giving context to your shitty movie. So after we get our 375th dump of exposition from Test Tube, we cut back to the military base. Also, do you remember that? They're monitoring Snake. The president believes Snake is dead because his tracker that they're using, it's been disabled.
Yeah.
A broadcast from LA takes over the TVs.
Yeah, with the timing that can only be written into a fucking script.
It's true. But guess who it is, Dave? It's our favorite beachside drink, Cuervo Jones.
You still owe me one of those, by the way.
I do.
Hey, Presidente. Don't tell me you didn't enjoy this just a little bit.
Cuervo has full control of this black box, and now he's going to use it to get what he wants. So he shuts down the U.S. Capitol with an EMP and demands a police helicopter, I guess, take him out of L.A.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
He's Cuervo Jones!
I want a police chopper to come and get me at the Happy Kingdom no later than 5 a.m.
Snake is conveniently seen in the background of this broadcast. He's captured and clearly not dead.
Right.
So the president has no choice but to depend on Snake to finish the job.
Don't count Pliskin out, sir.
He's a POW.
But he's still alive.
He has to depend on the guy who has yet to do something, right?
Well, he's going to... Listen, Snake is beholden to no man. So Snake is escorted to Memorial Coliseum by Cuervo's armed guards, and he's thrown into a caged-in basketball court where a man, just prior to this, was executed for missing a shot.
By a circular firing squad. Like, dude, I guess everyone there has really good and bad aim at the exact same time.
The Stormtrooper convention was in town. Cuervo introduces Snake and the event, which he has dubbed
The death of Snake Plissken!
So Cuervo explains to us the game.
Basketball, full court, 10-second shot clock. Miss a shot, you get shot. Shot clock buzzer goes off before you shoot, you get shot. 2 points for a basket, no 3-point bullshit. All you gotta do is make 10 points.
For context, no one has ever walked off the court alive. This scene actually is pretty tense, and I really like it.
So wait, he sucks at everything but basketball?
No, fuck you. He's good at murder. We know that. And he's good at escaping.
Okay.
He will eventually escape from LA. Snake runs from one side of the court to the other, and he's trying to make his shots. And he's hitting them, but he's tiring out, as anybody would. But he tosses this almost full court shot at the buzzer and hits it to win his freedom. Fun fact, Kurt Russell actually insisted he make all the shots on camera, even the full court shot, which he did.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
So the crowd starts chanting Snake's name, much to the chagrin of Cuervo.
You won, Cuervo. You can't kill him.
I have to.
With the help of a Deus Ex earthquake, apparently, Snake escapes, and Cuervo and Eddie take off after him with Utopia in tow.
Of course.
Outside of the Coliseum, a firefight breaks out. Snake is shot in a sewer tunnel, and he's flushed down the drain and dumped out on the beach, conveniently right in front of our old surfer friend, Pipeline. Remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Snake has a new mission, and it's to get to Cuervo's Happy Kingdom in Anaheim, where everyone is gathering that night for the start of that invasion against the USA. Remember that?
Where's the Happy Kingdom? Anaheim. It's the staging area for the big invasion. The whole town's gonna be there, except me.
Pipeline can't take him there, but he directs him to somebody named Hershey and Saigon Shadow, 2 people that can help him get to Cuervo's Happy Kingdom.
Right.
At the Happy Kingdom, hopefully then, Snake can recover the remote once and for all. Luckily, we've established the earthquakes. So cue the surf music, because Pipeline is here to catch the massive wave.
What is that? Tsunami, Snake. Tsunami!
So in one of my favorite sequences in this movie, Snake grabs a surfboard and he rides a CG wave through the town where he spies Eddie driving by, and he hops from the surfboard into Eddie's convertible like he's fucking Dominic Toretto.
You gotta be kidding me.
Now Eddie has to take Snake to Hershey, who is inside the famous ship and tourist destination, the Queen Mary.
Yeah, she's gonna love you, Snake. You're gonna love her too. We're gonna make this thing happen.
So Snake is finally introduced to Hershey, who's a transgender woman who Snake actually used to know.
You carjacked my mom. Not anymore.
Are you to know each other?
Hershey is played by the always magnificent Pam Grier, who's just chewing up the scenery.
It's bullshit, baby. Rumor control, government propaganda, just one more lie.
Oh, God.
So Snake and Hershey make this deal together to get across town to the Happy Kingdom in the fastest way they know how.
Use the air, the Santa Anas.
What are you talking about?
Death from above.
Bro, literally, they're going to hang glide from the Hollywood sign.
It's cute.
What in the superhero hell is happening?
It made me just crack up. The Happy Kingdom, if you didn't pick up on this, is like, they couldn't say Disney World or Disneyland, rather.
Trouble. Can we say those words?
Actually, I don't know. Meanwhile, at Generic Happy Time Place. the military chopper that Cuervo requested lands, and the soldiers are taken hostage immediately.
What are they, fucking stormtroopers?
Don't besmirch the untarnished Disney brand. Please do not sue us. So the first person to arrive at the Happy Kingdom from our group is Eddie. He warns Cuervo of an attack by Snake. And I'm like, dude, fuck you.
You didn't catch it? That was part of the plan?
No, I got it. Later. He tries to steal the remote from Cuervo, but he's caught because he is just like that amount of stupid.
You have lied to me for the very last time.
So before Cuervo can kill him, Snake and our heroes arrive like militarized bats in the night sky.
Floating in circles on their hang gliders.
Just floating around, casually executing everyone in sight. Snake hits the ground, and there's a no-holds-barred fight with Cuervo. During the fight, the remote from the black box comes loose, and Snake is able to grab it from Cuervo. He has it, finally. Now he can escape from L.A.
Haha!
And everyone, including Utopia, hop into the bulletproof chopper, where they take the real remote from Eddie, who's had it all along. They swapped it with the audio map remote.
Oh, you got the remote. Great.
Yeah, now give me the real one.
So they get the chopper up in the air, and Eddie shoots Cuervo in the chest, but Cuervo fires a bazooka at them.
A fucking... Okay.
Eddie bails out since, the chopper's on fire, and everyone else is, unceremoniously burnt to a crisp.
Yep.
Snake, he's getting the fuck out of there.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, he has a timer. The Plutoxin 7 is taking over his body.
Yeah, he's about to die.
He's about to die. So he's taking the on-fire helicopter off island to save himself and Utopia, the only two left.
Get the antidote ready, assholes. I'm coming in.
Do you have the black box?
I got what was it. Remote control unit instruction disc.
He's finally off the island. He flies low in the helicopter. Utopia bails out, and the chopper finally crashes in a fiery ground collision. Where is Snake? Is he dead?
I was hoping.
Maybe you were. I knew he wasn't, though. Because he emerges from the fireball.
Your countdown clock has now terminated function.
As the timer runs out for the virus that was supposed to kill him.
But doesn't.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
The government played him, and now they're there, and they're calling him stupid to his face.
That's some high school bully shit right there.
It is. On top of that, though, in a further blow, soldiers enter the scene, and they have Utopia. They caught her. He was trying to get her out of there. They picked her up.
But was he, though? Does he really care?
He's not a nihilist. He has some sort of morality of his own.
Okay.
So they pick up Utopia, and she has another remote on her, presumably the real one. So they hook Utopia up to a mobile electric chair. They just have one on hand.
That is?
Yeah.
Get her out of here.
Daddy.
Take her to the chair.
And the president makes an impromptu press conference.
I now demand an immediate retreat of all forces now threatening this great nation.
But the attack doesn't stop, so he points that EMP satellite at them, aiming to destroy all of their tech. He types in the code to the remote and fires it, and...
Welcome to your very own map to the stars.
It's Eddie's audio map.
Bro.
It is the old switcheroo after all.
Fucking got him!
His Snake, he switched them, and the president is pissed. So,
as you would be.
As you would be. And he orders Snake to be shot on camera so everybody can see, to show the masses what happens.
Make an example.
Exactly. And they start firing away. But Snake's fine. Nothing happens to him. He doesn't flinch.
Not even so much as a blink.
Do you want to know why?
Because of the hologram.
It's a hologram. Do you remember that?
He's not even here. He's a hologram.
Do you know who has the real remote? Spoiler, it's Snake. He has it. So he types in the code 666.
He's entered the world code.
I told you you'd better hope I didn't make it back.
You push that button. Everything we've accomplished for the past 500 years will be finished. We'll have to start all over again.
Don't do it, Snake.
The name's Pliskin.
Fucking no. Okay? How you gonna...
Hilarious. And a wonderful reversal. He hits the button and everything goes dark. The world is back to square one. Snake emerges from the woods. He finds an old pack of cigarettes with one left. He strikes a match, lights the cigarette, looks dead into camera, and blows the match out.
Welcome to the human race.
Roll credits.
Bro, he finally got his smoke, and I finally got the end of this movie.
This was an epic adventure.
Yeah, adventure.
So epically frustrating and bad for you.
Yes.
Epically fun for me. Mm-hmm. And certainly nothing like F9 I don't care what I said.
It has been an easier ride, for sure, than last episode.
Yes.
Which I appreciated.
It's kind of a refresher.
Now that we've established all of that, it's time to battle to the metaphorical death.
We could, or we could just take it to the courts, the basketball courts, duke it out, Snake Plissken style.
I don't think you want to when I have the Fresh Prince on my side.
I get that. But maybe there'll be an earthquake and I can just get out of it completely.
Movie versus movie. Welcome to the Thunderdome. This place fucking rules.
All right, it's that time, dude. So we both agreed on 5 different things that we think make a post-apocalypse movie good.
Yes, we did.
Those things are appropriate setting.
Is the fucking world over?
Exciting action.
Are these characters kicking ass?
Tension.
Is this shit stressful?
High stakes.
This shit should literally be life and death.
And a relatable or sympathetic main character.
Does this person need a hug? You go first to start us off for this Thunderdome.
Listen, our first thing is appropriate setting. Is this a post-apocalyptic movie? Los Angeles itself is the quintessential post-apocalypse. Not only because the world essentially has ended there, there's like these little groups and factions that set up this world in such a rich way.
Okay, but the thing is, LA becoming an island, it would just all be underwater. Number
Obviously
one.
not.
Obviously, yes.
Because the movie happened.
Because the movie is incorrect. Also, LA is a prison. The whole city is just a prison. Dumb. Even more impossible.
What? No.
Listen,
first off,
no.
The city's a prison anyway. Regardless.
Okay, listen. It doesn't matter because in fucking I Am Legend, it's a desolate and abandoned New York City. It doesn't get more appropriate than that. Cars littered everywhere, buildings dilapidated, wild animals everywhere. There's no one around. That's quite literally post-apocalypse.
I don't think post-apocalypse determines how many people are there. Post-apocalypse just means after an apocalyptic event happened. In Escape from LA, that apocalypse is a major 9.6 earthquake. That's apocalyptic.
But it's all dumb.
It can be as dumb as you want to believe it is.
It's very dumb.
But at the end of the day, it's still an appropriate setting for the movie.
We can agree to disagree right now, okay? Because we got 4 more points, all right?
What's the second one?
The second point is exciting action. And I Am Legend, you got Will Smith, a badass German Shepherd, zompires, not to mention a fortress riddled with explosive traps, and even they have mannequins that turn their heads. That's exciting. You cannot tell me that it wouldn't be exciting as fuck to drive around in a fucking post-apocalyptic, abandoned New York City fighting zompires.
It would be less fun to do that than it would to be in the debaucherous hellscape of Los Angeles 2013.
Wrong.
Because once we get going, we got motorcycles and fucking gliders, and we got shootouts, and we got cans falling from the sky. We got... We have Surfing Snake Plissken.
All of your shit takes forever to get there.
But what you're focusing on is the timing of the action, or when it happens. And I'm talking about the actual action. What I think you were actually talking about with some of your pacing and action is tension and how that adds to exciting action. Which, of course, Escape from LA has an incredible amount of tension. I'm tense the whole time waiting until this exposition ends.
You're tense always.
To the... You never know who you're going to meet. They set up all these crazy characters.
Yeah,
as
it's
you
ridiculous.
Go, it's still tension-filled.
Okay, but in I Am Legend, Robert Neville, a.k.a. Will Smith, a.k.a. the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, is fighting for literally all of humanity. It doesn't get more tense than this. And then he's all alone after Sam the dog dies. Rest in peace.
Rip.
And when new people come in, they fuck everything up. That's tense as fuck.
Period. Okay, there's tension. I'm not denying there is not tension in your movie. I'm just saying mine has a lot more of it.
It does not.
And it's way more visceral.
Because your guy is fighting for literally himself.
But we're not, at that point, we're not even talking about tension. We're talking about the next thing, which is high stakes. Speaking of which, the world is high stakes.
Yeah.
And that's what we're dealing with here.
And that's what Robert Neville is fighting for.
In Escape from LA, we're dealing with real flesh and blood people who are currently alive and not currently monsters.
Yeah, and Snake is fighting for literally none of them.
himself.
That's high stake.
High stake.
It's not high stakes. There's
High
just
stake
one.
snake.
High stake snake. Exactly. But see, the thing is, in I Am Legend, Robert Neville is literally fighting for the entire world. He's trying to find a cure for the entire world. You can't get stakes any higher. It's the whole world, Blake.
But no, listen, you say that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Robert Neville doesn't believe anybody else is alive.
No, he's fighting to cure all the people.
You know what? We don't have to talk about this anymore because my character, if we're moving on here,
We are
if
moving
I'm
on,
allowed
yes.
to move on.
Yeah.
Because my character, Snake Plissken, is a relatable main character. He's dying from a virus for all we know.
No, he literally is not.
I sympathize with that.
You sympathize with that more than being alone?
Yeah. I'm already alone.
Listen, first of all, he wears a fucking eye patch. Sorry to those of you who listen. if you
Yeah,
wear
don't
patches.
exclude
That's
people
not-
here, man. That's
just not for me and Blake. We don't. Anyway, neither of us wear eye patches, okay? We don't wear giant leather trench coats. You literally want to talk about relatable character. Fucking Robert Neville is alone for nearly an entire movie with just his dog, and then the dog dies. So we had to see his pain compound like tenfold.
To be
This
fair,
man needs a
Robert-
gigantic hug.
But no, here's the thing. He replaces his dead wife and children.
How dare
with
you, sir?
sitting characters
How
known as Anna
dare
and
you,
Ethan.
sir? He did not replace them.
Replaced.
They inserted themselves. They fucked everything up.
No.
Which also, relatable.
What?
Outside people fucking everything up.
Okay. I thought you meant wife and children fucking things up. Not that you know,
Listen,
not that
I'm
either
not
of us.
saying that it's implicit.
It just
is.
Well, considering I've won this argument, I think
You
we
have
can
not
move
even
on.
won a point yet.
It's fine. We're gonna get to the finish line, so I can put you out of your misery.
See, I'm about to crush you. Okay, let's get to it.
All right, let's
Finish
get to
line.
it.
Hey, look, we did it. It's the finish line. We're at the finish line. Can I go home yet? Alright.
Okay, so we're at the finish line.
Tell me why you
So-
picked Escape from LA.
I picked Escape from LA because I didn't. And I Am Legend is the clear winner of first prize. It's superior in every way. Plus, Sam the dog deserves first prize alone for her bravery and sacrifice. Yes, I pulled the dead dog card. Suck it.
Rip.
So yes, I Am Legend is my choice for first prize.
Did you like anything about Escape from LA?
Yeah, of course I did. Reminds me of when we would watch movies such as Bubba Hotep.
I love that movie.
It gave me the nostalgic feeling of when we were younger. It was fun.
Yeah.
It just was not first prize.
So I have a penchant for John Carpenter films, and
Mhm.
I love the way he presents things, and they're this fun kind of B-movie style,
Right.
With a little bit of commentary.
Yeah.
This isn't just a nostalgia trip for me.
Mhm.
I really remember having fun, and I really wanted to come into this movie knowing I haven't seen it in probably 15 years.
Right.
That choice was not so much because I wanted to defend this film or battle it against
Yeah.
something. It's because I really wanted to see this film and enjoy it.
Fair point.
And I really didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would.
No.
Like,
What's happening?
Again, I love John Carpenter films.
Yeah.
And this just really isn't one of them. Again, I did have fun, but I
Yes.
was very frustrated with how much exposition.
Yeah,
There's
that-
like very little through line to this thing. It just feels very episodic, and I don't think it's that great of a post-apocalyptic movie.
No.
You know, it's a fun little goofy adventure romp.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think I'm gonna have to say I Am Legend is the best post-apocalyptic film between
Damn.
these two.
Damn.
So we have a definitive winner.
I honestly think it's kind of shocking that our first two episodes in a row, we have both agreed.
I did not expect this.
I did not either.
But honestly, as soon as I started watching Escape from LA, I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, oh,
Fair.
I picked the wrong fucking movie
Yeah.
to battle.
Yeah. I guess that's it. I guess I Am Legend is the official winner of first prize in the post-apocalypse category.
We did it. We made
did
it through. Made way too many comparisons to F9 with this, so I gotta move
that's
on.
when you were doomed.
I gotta move on from that chapter of my life. Jesus.
You're traumatized.
I truly am. Anyway.
Yeah. Hey, First Prize listeners, thanks for tuning in this week. If you liked today's episode, if you enjoyed hanging out with us, please consider subscribing to all of our socials. It's at First Prize Pod. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter. Also, don't forget to check out our website as well at firstprizefilms.com.
We do this for free because we hate ourselves, but if you'd like to support us, consider rating us and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts or even just telling your friends.
Join us next week where we'll be beating our way through these martial arts movies.
Yeah, we're going to be watching Mortal Kombat 2021 versus The Protector 2005.
Breaking bones and taking names.
So many bones.
See ya!
Bye! This isn't even going to be included. I'm just restating what's going to be in the fucking quote, and I can't talk. Oh my god, I can't read my fucking notes.
You can't even read the part that we're not even going to have in the episode.